Okay, g'day guys, welcome to a new series on the channel. This is U-Boat Simulator, World War II submarine sim. We are starting in U96, which is the first option to start with. As a campaign, there's a choice of 4 different submarines you can use, and this is the first one, the easier one of the 4. So we're on our way out of port here, La Rochelle, which is the west coast of France, and we're heading out to patrol sector BE4 to BE7. Need to travel 2,250 kilometers inside the marked area and sink enemy ships worth 7,000 tons, but I'd say would sink a lot more than that. We are fully stocked with fuel and also stocked up with torpedoes. Having said all that, I'll see you out there at the patrol area. So just while we head out of port, I'll show you the world map. So all the blue countries are friendly, or these are all controlled by German. Got down all here in Africa and pretty much most of Europe. Red countries are enemy. There's quite a lot of harbours and airfields, mainly around the British Isles. We've got to be careful about the getting close to land here, because you'll get enemy aeroplanes which will attack us if they see us, and there'll be a lot of enemy shipping coming around this area, which is good for us being so close to home. We can just pick up a few convoys around here, pick them off, and then return to our base. But our patrol area right now is pretty much out in the middle of the Atlantic. Over here we have Canada. They are in the war, but the USA is not at this stage. It's a real-time simulator, so as time does progress, America will become involved in the war, and it will make things a little bit harder for us. And we will also begin to lose territory as time goes on. Yeah, so eventually we can make our way into the Mediterranean here and down towards Egypt. I think that's Egypt, is it? At least Port of Alexandria, Greece. Pretty much everywhere. We've got a port here in Italy that we can dock at. Also got a port here, here and here. So we're quite light on crew at the moment. We've had to leave one of our engineers behind. He's researching snorkels, which will help us to stay underwater, which just means that we don't have to worry about our oxygen and battery capacity, because we'll be able to use diesel or electric engines. So we're a little bit light on staff at the moment, but we'll get through it, and it's going to take 31 days. So we'll pretty much just try and stay at sea for 31 days and then return, upgrade the ship, and then we'll be better off for the next patrol. Okay, so we've just reached our patrol sector here in the middle of the Atlantic, so we're just going to get Mr. Osterman here, and he is going to send that message back to the base, which will give us a little bit of points here for spending money in the port. And we're just going to bob up and down out of periscope depth and decks awash here just to make sure we can find some ships and see what we can come up with. So I'll get back to you when we've found something. Alright, so we've been patrolling our patrol sector, but didn't find a single convoy or anything running through this area, so just gonna send that off to BDU, and then we're gonna come up towards around this area over here. This is I believe an area that we're gonna find a lot more ships. Okay, so as we're heading northeast towards the British Isles here, we've managed to pick ourselves up an enemy convoy, 2 to 4 ships, and one. This is probably a friendly U-boat, so we won't be marking that, but we'll just quickly mark that boat there, and they look like they're heading that way. Okay, so we've just plotted where these ships are kind of heading, and they're heading on a bit of a sort of southwest-ish kind of pattern there, so we're gonna hopefully get moving in here, get the sneak on them, see if we can't sink something. Okay, so we've managed to pick up the enemy transport here. There's only 2 to 4 ships. I reckon it's going to be 2 freighters, I would say. Only picked up one of them at the moment, but we're just laying in wait. And I reckon if we jump on our periscope here, we can start figuring out a solution for this guy. Early hours of the morning by the looks of it. It's a little bit foggy out actually. Too bad. Okay, so we got eyes on the convoy now. Apparently, I can't see shit. So we're just gonna have to let them get a little bit closer to us. And I think in the meantime, just gonna have to go decks awash, just to get our oxygen back here, and then we'll dive back down and make an attack. Alright, so we got eyes on the transport now, 3 boats. I've already worked out their angle of bow, which is the direction of travel. So I've pulled a line here from north to south, which is a true line. I've pulled a line through their direction of travel until that crosses my north to south line. And then I've used my protractor to get that angle, which is 103. So if you take away 103 from 360, you get 257. So we know that all of these boats are on an angle of 257. So it's a little bit foggy out, can't really see a ship here, but I can see that they've got an antenna. Doesn't really mean anything to me though.
Captain.
So you're going to have to get very, very close to these guys, I think. So I can see these guys clearly if I zoom in from the map here, but there's just too much fog. I don't think I'm going to be able to get close enough to them to see them and be within striking range of a torpedo.
Captain.
Check one more time. Yeah, so I mean we're pretty close and I still can't even see the ship here, so if we want to sink these guys, I think we have to just surface the boat and use the deck gun. That's about all we're going to be able to do. Yep, so unfortunately not going to be able to get in there and use any torpedoes on this first one, but such is life, and we'll just deal with it. Let's get our diesel compressor back on, get this compressed air back, and in the meantime, on the ship, pretty close to a collision here.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Oh well, nothing like point blank shooting. Put a few holes in the side of her and send her down to the line. Starting to listen now. Plenty of ammunition to finish these guys off.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Looks like her days are numbered. See if we can start a fire on board. Might be enough to send her down. Next target.
Feuer an Deck. Achtung.
Probably not enough to send her down. I think she'll need a couple more shots just to give her some encouragement.
Abfahrtkurs berechnen.
Hüllenbruch. Sie sinken.
Yep, so she's going down. That's two ships done for, but I think we're going to have to deck gun the last one, and then we'll have to wait for the weather to improve, or we can rely on any torpedo attacks.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Was?
Kapitän. Achtung!
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Okay, so that's all three ships dealt with. In amongst that, I did get told here that sickness is on the boat. Sickness is spreading on your boat. Treat it with the radio man that has medical training, or return to port. Affected sailors, Eric Luther. So he's just a nobody.
Herr
But if I click on him, I don't think he's got the medical training. Yeah, he's got nothing because this is a brand new campaign, so if we want to deal with the sickness, we have to return to the port. Now, we have completed the objectives, but we've still got a long time to wait for our next upgrade to the boat, so tricky situation. Wasn't really expecting to cut this patrol so short, because we've still got plenty of gas and we haven't even fired a torpedo yet. So I'm thinking we might just risk it, and we'll keep cruising around and see if we can get some torpedoes launched. But if the situation doesn't get any better or it gets worse, then we'll have to head back to the port, unfortunately. Okay, so we've managed to deal with the sickness on board. I just used a first aid kit and that thing seems to have cured the guy. So it was saying tuberculosis, which I didn't think we were going to be able to cure on the scene. But nevertheless, we got that done. So found ourselves another group up here. So we're going to head pretty much just straight north here. And we'll try and intercept them. Let them get a bit of distance there, and we're just going to stop for a second. So this is just another convoy heading from the UK towards America. And yep, we need to close that range, we're a little bit too far away. Okay, so we've laid eyes on these other two enemy ships here. They're still quite a way away from us, so we're going to close the distance. Looks like 3 more ships.
Aufseerohrtiefe.
Nothing to be concerned about, they've got no escort, so we're just going to
Kaloi.
close that gap a little bit. Okay, so we're in a pretty good position here. We're just going to lay in wait and we can start working on our solution. So that's us zoomed in at max, so we can just about work out what that is. It looks to me... So it's got 1, 2, 3 masts. 1, 2, 3 masts. Got a funnel at the back with a little funnel in front of that. Kind of hard to see from there, but I would say so. And it's got like a box stack in the middle, so I'm gonna go ahead and recognize that as something like that, and we'll work out the angle of bow right now, and we'll do that by going to the map. Kind of look like they're just on a straight 90-ish. What it looks like to me. Just a little bit less. We get our true north to south line there. Doesn't need to be as long as that. Gonna grab our protractor. You can do it from very small points as well. Something like that. So we go 360 minus 87. And we get left with 273. So these guys are all heading on a bearing of 273.
Kapitän. Aufseerohrtiefe.
Periscope up so we can see them. Okay, so angle 273, done. Time. Now, front of the boat to the crosshair. Go.
Aufseerohrtiefe.
Okay, and once the back of the boat goes through the periscope, so when we stop the clock, set that 5 knots. Sounds about right. Looks like they're going very slow. Now, the distance, line up the tallest mast with the waterline. It's roughly around there, 6,000 meters. So they're out of range for us to shoot a torpedo at the moment. We have to wait for them to get within 5,000. So while we wait for that, we're going to start working on the solution for other boats. See if we can try and sink all 3 of these.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Yeah, that probably looks to me like an Empire Bell. No, it doesn't. More like an Empire Explorer. Yep. Okay, so we think we said it was 273 for the angle. 5 knots for the speed, and distance for this one. It's roughly there. So he seems to be further away than the first one,
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
which doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we've got ourselves quite well lined up here for an attack here, so I'm going to lock onto the boat at the front. I've double checked their distance, they're still on the same course, same speed, same boat. Just double check their distance there to make sure, so we're going to
Rohr 1,
launch a T1 at
bewässern.
this boat here. These guys are all unarmed, so if we do miss we can just
Rohr 1
deck gun them
bewässert.
again, but I'd prefer to get some torpedo hits.
Los!
Fire at you. And then we're going to fire at you.
Rohr 2, bewässern.
Maybe
Rohr
2
3,
torpedoes, just,
bewässern.
why not? Nah, just one. One's enough.
Rohr 2, fertig.
Los!
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
Okay, and then not too sure about the boat at the back yet. It's kind of being a little bit difficult to judge its distance. Like, it can't be 7 kilometers away if these other guys are only 4, so I might just type in 4.3 Ks, why not?
Rohr 3, bewässern.
Just send one at it and see what happens.
Rohr 3, bewässert.
Los!
Herr Kalon. Auf Seerohrtiefe.
And no matter what happens here, we're going to surface the boat.
Anblasen. Schneller, schneller!
Okay, so we got 1 hit so far.
Treffer. Feuer an Deck. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. Der Aal ging daneben, Herr Kaloy. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag.
I don't think that's quite going to hit. It's going to run in front, unfortunately. But it's
Kurs
alright.
auf diese Koordinaten
We'll
setzen.
just deck gun them.
30 Sekunden.
And I think the reason that I missed those is because I surfaced the boat too early. And I could hear their
20
alarms going
Sekunden.
in, so now they're on evasive maneuvers. Which is fine.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Feuer an Deck.
Okay, she can't be in good shape by now. Looks like the front end's starting to dip into the water. Start working on the back.
Achtung!
Feuer an Deck.
Achtung! Legen Sie den Kurs an! Schneller, schneller!
We better save some ammo for the last boat here.
Wir haben ihn. Sie sinken.
And she's done for anyway, that's perfect.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Okay, last boat, we'll just pump her full of lead and then we'll maybe think about reloading torpedoes, trying to do another attack, or maybe just heading back to the base. Just don't want to go back to base too early when we're halfway through a research. Just seems like a waste to head back early when you've got fuel, torpedoes, you've got everything you need, plenty of food. The only thing I need from the base is a snorkel. It's at this stage anyway. But once we've used up all our torpedoes, then yep, go back.
Achtung!
Slow the boat down here. It could be the end of that one. Let's see how much water it's going to take on here.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, she looks pretty done for.
Wir haben ihn.
There we have it, she slips beneath. Okay, so we've sunk a few ships there. We'll send that message off to the BDU and we'll maybe think about starting another attack somewhere if we can find something. We will cruise towards the British Isles, and then if we don't find anything we'll just go back to the port. But hopefully we can pick something else up along the way. Okay, so we've picked up another small group of ships here, probably another 3 freighters. But we want to try and do another torpedo attack if we can. So let's see if we got any warm torpedoes. Nope, we don't even have them loaded.
Kapitän.
This is the problem with having one of the engineers on shore, is that this guy has to manage loading, warming torpedoes, as well as managing engines, flooding the tanks, all sorts of crap. He's too busy. Really need that other guy back.
Ohr 2 geladen.
Well, we can just shadow this line here for as long as we
Sehr wohl,
like.
Herr Kaloi.
They're probably doing a similar speed to us. Okay, so a bit of a situation here. We've managed to find ourselves a small convoy. 1 neutral ship, 2 enemy ships, and this friendly U-boat looks like he's coming in for an attack, but I'd quite like to stop him from doing that if possible. So let's have a look at what we're dealing with. Okay, so the Swedish ship, if I remember rightly, would be the one that's not involved. He's the neutral ship. So we'll let that go. this boat here looks like an Empire tower. Going to be quite difficult to tell how far away he is at the moment, so we'll have to just work on the speed. Find out the speed of the convoy, and then we'll find out the direction of travel. Yeah, it won't be too hard to get the distance, either it's a little bit rough out, so might just be a couple of 100 meters out of whack, but doesn't matter too much. If we miss with the torpedoes, we've always got the deck gun. Six knots, okay, so now angle of bow time. Kind of looks like he's heading on a dead 90 actually. There's our true north-south line, and we might be 1 or 2 degrees out with something, but rough enough guess is good enough for me. But yeah, I'd say they were just doing a straight 90. Okay, now we've got some torpedoes warmed up, locked on. I've rechecked his range, so
Rohr 1
I'm going
bewässern.
to go ahead and launch one torpedo. I think his other ship is right behind him, so I won't be able to hit that.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Los!
So we'll launch this, and we might have to move in for another attack with the deck gun. Beautiful.
Treffer. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
Okay, it's probably not going to be enough to sink her, but could just launch the second one in it, I suppose.
Auf Seerohrtiefe. Rohr 2 fertig.
Los!
Oh no, she is taking on more damage than I thought there. That's alright, doesn't matter.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel. 40 Sekunden.
And our friendly
bis
ship
Torpedo
here
einschlagen. 30
is causing some damage as well.
Sekunden.
Is he launching
Seerohrtiefe.
torpedoes at this guy as well?
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Der Aal ging daneben, Herr Kaloy.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Wow, that friendly U-boat doesn't give a shit if you're involved in the war or not. You're going down. Oh well, I'm just going to finish this boat off here with the deck gun. So let's surface the ship.
Anblasen!
Okay, so we'll send this boat to the bottom of the sea, and then we'll probably start thinking about heading off towards port. Just chuck him on navigation for a minute. This guy into the listening room just before he crashes out. Send that all off to BDU. And we'll start thinking about heading off back towards this way. Okay, we spotted a contrail. That means it's an enemy airplane. That's not really ideal for us. We don't want to have to tangle with it. Let me know when you see it, because I don't see it yet. Let's just check the map and maybe I just dive the boat.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
Should have stayed on the gun. Hopefully we can outmaneuver him.
Wechseln auf G-Motor. Alarm!
Dive down to about 50.
30, 50.
Okay, so that wasn't such a bad patrol. It wasn't the best. We managed to get a couple of hits with torpedoes and we managed to sink plenty of enemy ships, but it does make it difficult when you're short-staffed, I suppose, and you're relying on other things. But we're returning into the base now. We'll collect up any medals and XP that we might have earned and see how our upgrades to the ship are going and get ready and set for the next one.
Beim BDU wird viel über ihre letzte Patrouillenfahrt geredet. Gute Arbeit.
Okay. Couple of medals, didn't quite make it to the next level, but got a bit of cash to spend on the boat. It was sunk a total of 34.5 tons. It's pretty good. We were only supposed to sink, I think, 7,500 or 10,000, I can't remember. Traveled distance 8,000. Yeah. There's all the ships that we sunk. Did a fairly decent job. I mean, they weren't massive ships, but we did the best with what we had. So yeah, 7,000 is what we're supposed to sink. And there's all our messages between us and BDU. Hopefully on the next mission we'll be able to pick ourselves up a new member of staff. But for now I think just gotta wait here, get the boat loaded up and wait for this technology to complete. So next shift we're a little bit better off. Anyway, that's enough for this one guys, so I'll see you in patrol number 2. Like and subscribe.